The Silmarillion, written by J.R.R. Tolkien and published posthumously by his son Christopher Tolkien, is a prequel to The Lord of the Rings and delves into the creation and early history of Middle-earth. It's a complex and intricate tale spanning millennia, focusing on the creation of the world, the rise and fall of the Elves, the forging of the Silmarils, and the eventual descent of darkness into Middle-earth. The Ainur and the creation of the world. The story begins with the Ainur, angelic beings who sing a great music under the guidance of Eru Ilúvatar, the supreme god. This music shapes the world, and from it arises Arda, the world of Middle-earth. The Ainur descend into Arda to shape it further, becoming the Valar, the powers of the world. The Elves awaken in the First Age. The Elves are the first sentient beings to awaken in Middle-earth, drawn to the light of the two trees of Valinor. They are led by the wise and noble Fëanor, who creates the Silmarils, 3 jewels that capture the light of the trees. However, Melkor, the most powerful of the Valar, is consumed by envy and desires the Silmarils for himself. He corrupts the Elves, leading to the kinslaying, a tragic event where Fëanor's sons kill their own kin. The flight of the Noldor and the First War of the Elves. Driven by grief and a thirst for revenge, Fëanor and his followers, the Noldor, defy the Valar and embark on a journey to Middle-earth, stealing the Silmarils from Valinor. This act marks the beginning of the First Age, a time of great conflict and sorrow. Melkor, now Morgoth, wages war against the Elves, seeking to claim the Silmarils and dominate Middle-earth. The fall of the Noldor and the rise of the dragons. The Noldor, led by Fëanor and his sons, fight bravely against Morgoth, but their efforts are ultimately in vain. They suffer heavy losses, including Fëanor himself, who dies in a duel with Morgoth. The Noldor are forced to retreat, and Morgoth's power grows, culminating in the creation of the dragons, his most fearsome weapons. The War of Wrath and the end of the First Age. The Valar, seeing the devastation wrought by Morgoth, finally intervene. They send a great host of their forces to Middle-earth, culminating in the War of Wrath, a cataclysmic battle that brings about Morgoth's defeat. The First Age ends with the sinking of Beleriand, the land where the Elves had fought, and the Silmarils are lost. The Second and Third Ages. The Silmarillion briefly touches upon the Second and Third Ages, highlighting the rise of the Men, the founding of the kingdoms of Gondor and Arnor, and the forging of the One Ring by Sauron, Morgoth's lieutenant. These events lay the groundwork for the events of The Lord of the Rings. The legacy of the Silmarillion. The Silmarillion is a complex and multifaceted work, offering a rich and detailed history of Middle-earth. It explores themes of creation, corruption, free will, and the struggle between good and evil. The story also highlights the importance of sacrifice, loyalty, and the enduring power of hope. The Silmarillion serves as a foundational text for Tolkien's mythology, providing a deeper understanding of the world and characters of The Lord of the Rings. This summary provides a general overview of the Silmarillion. The book is filled with intricate details, complex characters, and profound themes that can be explored in greater depth. The Silmarillion explores several key themes beyond the straightforward conflict between good and evil, offering a more nuanced and complex view of Tolkien's mythology. Here are some of the most prominent. The nature of creation and the power of art. The story begins with the Ainur's music, emphasizing the creative power of thought and expression. The Silmarils themselves represent the pinnacle of Fëanor's artistry, capturing the essence of the two trees and highlighting the potential for beauty and wonder within creation. This theme also touches on the dangers of hubris and the corrupting influence of desire, as seen in Melkor's envy of the Silmarils. The burden of free will and the consequences of choice. The Elves, as the first sentient beings, are endowed with free will, allowing them to make their own choices. However, this freedom comes with a heavy responsibility, as seen in the tragic consequences of Fëanor's rebellion and the kinslaying. The story illustrates the potential for both great good and great evil within free will, and the importance of choosing wisely. The enduring power of hope and the importance of sacrifice. Despite the overwhelming darkness and despair that pervades the First Age, the Silmarillion also showcases acts of heroism, loyalty, and sacrifice. The stories of Berain and Luthien, Turin Turambar, and the Fall of Gondolin highlight the enduring power of hope and the willingness of individuals to make great sacrifices for the greater good. The interconnectedness of fate and destiny. Tolkien's mythology emphasizes the interconnectedness of events and the influence of fate on individual lives. The Silmarillion reveals how seemingly insignificant choices can have far-reaching consequences, shaping the course of history and the destinies of individuals. This theme is particularly evident in the tragic downfall of the Noldor, who are forever marked by their rebellion in the pursuit of the Silmarils. The cycle of loss and renewal. The Silmarillion is a story of loss and sacrifice, but it also offers glimpses of hope and renewal. The sinking of Beleriand and the loss of the Silmarils represent the end of an era, but they also pave the way for the rise of men and the events of the Second and Third Ages. This cyclical nature of loss and renewal underscores the enduring spirit of the world and the possibility of hope even in the face of great adversity. The themes of free will and fate are intricately woven into the narratives of individual characters in the Silmarillion, often creating a complex tapestry of choices, consequences, and predetermined destinies. Here are some examples. Feanor. Free will. Feanor is a brilliant craftsman and possesses immense creative power. His free will leads him to create the Silmarils, capturing the light of the two trees. However, his pride and obsession with the Silmarils ultimately lead him to rebel against the Valar and embark on a perilous journey to Middle-earth, setting in motion a chain of tragic events. Fate. Feanor's fate is intertwined with the Silmarils. His relentless pursuit of them leads to his downfall, culminating in his death in a duel with Morgoth. His actions, driven by free will, ultimately contribute to his predetermined fate. Turin Turambar. Free will. Turin's life is marked by a series of unfortunate events, many of which are fueled by his own choices. His pride, anger, and impulsiveness lead him to make decisions that result in tragedy for himself and those around him. Fate. Turin's fate is heavily influenced by a curse placed upon his family by Morgoth. This curse shapes his life, leading to a series of misfortunes and ultimately his tragic demise. While Turin makes choices that contribute to his downfall, his fate is also predetermined by the curse, highlighting the limitations of free will in the face of destiny. Berain and Luthien. Free will. Berain, a mortal man, chooses to defy fate and embark on a perilous quest to retrieve a Silmaril from Morgoth's crown. His love for Luthien, an elf princess, drives him to make this choice, demonstrating the power of free will in overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Fate. Berain and Luthien's love story is intertwined with the fate of the Silmarils. Their quest to retrieve one of the jewels is a pivotal event in the history of Middle-earth, shaping the future of both elves and men. While they exercise their free will to pursue their love and achieve their goal, their actions also fulfill a predetermined destiny. The Noldor. Free will. The Noldor, driven by grief and a thirst for revenge, choose to defy the Valar and embark on a journey to Middle-earth, stealing the Silmarils from Valinor. This act of rebellion marks a turning point in their history, leading to a long and tragic exile. Fate. The Noldor's fate is intertwined with the Silmarils. Their pursuit of these jewels leads them to a long and bloody war against Morgoth, culminating in the loss of their homeland and the sinking of Beleriand. The Noldor's free will leads them to make choices that ultimately contribute to their predetermined fate. These examples demonstrate how free will and fate are often intertwined in the Silmarillion. Characters make choices that shape their destinies, but their lives are also influenced by larger forces beyond their control. The story explores the complexities of these themes, highlighting the potential for both great good and great evil within the human condition. The Silmarils, 3 radiant jewels crafted by Feanor, play a pivotal role in shaping the fates of both elves and men in the Silmarillion, acting as a catalyst for conflict, tragedy, and ultimately, the very course of history in Middle-earth. For the elves. The seeds of rebellion, the Silmarils, imbued with the light of the two trees of Valinor, become a symbol of beauty, power, and the very essence of elven artistry. However, their creation also fuels Feanor's pride and ambition, leading him to rebel against the Valar and embark on a quest to reclaim them from Morgoth. This rebellion sets in motion the tragic events of the First Age, including the kinslaying and the Noldor's exile to Middle-earth. A legacy of loss and exile, the pursuit of the Silmarils becomes a defining characteristic of the Noldor's history. Their relentless quest for these jewels leads them to countless battles, sacrifices, and ultimately, the loss of their homeland in Beleriand. The Silmarils become a source of both hope and despair, driving the Noldor to great deeds but also leading to their downfall. A symbol of hope and redemption, despite the tragedy and loss associated with the Silmarils, they also represent a glimmer of hope for the elves. The eventual recovery of one Silmaril by Berain and Luthien, a mortal man and an elf princess, symbolizes the possibility of redemption and the enduring power of love and sacrifice. This event also foreshadows the eventual reconciliation between elves and men, paving the way for the future of Middle-earth. For men, a catalyst for interaction, the Silmarils become a point of contact between elves and men, leading to their first significant interactions. Berain's quest to retrieve a Silmaril from Morgoth's crown brings him into contact with Luthien, an elf princess, and their love story symbolizes the potential for unity and cooperation between these two races. A symbol of courage and sacrifice, the story of Berain and Luthien, who risked their lives to recover a Silmaril, highlights the courage and sacrifice of men in the face of overwhelming odds. Their actions demonstrate the potential for greatness within humanity and their willingness to stand alongside elves in the face of evil. A legacy of hope and destiny, the recovery of a Silmaril by Berain and Luthien, a mortal man and an elf princess, signifies the possibility of hope and redemption for men. This event also foreshadows the eventual rise of men as the dominant race in Middle-earth, shaping the future of the world. In conclusion, the Silmarils are more than just jewels, they are a powerful symbol of creation, beauty, and the enduring power of hope in the face of adversity. Their influence on the fates of both elves and men is profound, shaping their histories, destinies, and ultimately, the very course of events in Middle-earth.